Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance and for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Friday, so I'm just going to jump right into it. So the first thing is this 98% complete Dragons Crystal Wars Mega Block. Cool little set. Sorry, you probably can't even see my face. This thing is pretty big. The person was messaging me right as I was leaving the storage unit. They actually wanted cheaper shipping, and I was kind of like, it's the box and stuff that's gonna destroy the shipping price. So we agreed upon they don't want the box, so we'll probably just keep this as like a display piece. They want all the pieces in there. It's only missing a couple things. This thing is a pretty cool set. This was an interesting find for us because, sorry, I have to make sure that this gets down here. This was an interesting find for us because we hadn't done garage sales in a long time. That was like the one garage sale like run we did earlier or last year, I guess, at this point. And it was mostly not a waste of time. It just was kind of like if we put it on a grade, like a D or whatever, D minus like run of garage sale items. That was our last stop, and we actually got a lot of good stuff. That one was only $3, so obviously we did pretty good with it. There was also some like other extra bits and pieces of the Mega Blocks from like Orcs and like some other catapult thing that we got, so that made the whole trip worth it. So yeah, it ended up being worth it, but that was kind of like the main hit that we got from that. So that sold for $67.49 plus shipping. We're going to reduce the shipping and send out just the pieces with no box. All right, next up is going to be like a decorative right here. This is Santa's sleigh, like a ceramic. It has like a glossy glaze on it. No Santa on it, but this one's pretty cool. This one's nothing too crazy. I don't remember where we got this, maybe an auction house or a thrift store. This one, I have no like real memory of it. It's sold for $9. All right, next up is going to be a board game expansion, Nothing Personal, Young Turks expansion. I don't know anything about this game. We've sold this particular expansion before. I got like a couple of this, I think it's like Nothing Personal game. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't know anything about this. This must be an older one. This is open box. It was complete. It only has 54 cards. This sold for $14.99, so it's been pretty good. I just remember selling it a couple times. I actually just don't know anything about it. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 156 Marvel United board game tokens. These are just like different cardboard tokens. I'm not a fan of all like the Marvel board games, but I know a lot of people like it. So it's just an example of you got to think about what people want rather than your own personal taste when you're selling on eBay. I saw these and I was like, I think those are for one of the Marvel games. I looked it up. Marvel United's pretty popular. I think it's like little chibi Marvel figures. I don't know if it's like co-op or you're fighting against each other or if they have different game modes. I do know a lot of people like it. They do like the Marvel board games. All right, next up is going to be, this one was pretty cool. This was at the auction I went to. This is Doomtown Weird West Edition. When this went up for auction, I was like, I haven't seen this particular like Doomtown item. I know of Doomtown and like a little bit of its history. I ended up getting this for $2 on auction. No one else bought it. And then later on in like the next week, I found that this was like their newest version and it sells for like 50 or 60 at the time. Obviously the people pay shipping. So I ended up selling this for $35.99, but $2 at auction to $35.99 is like really good. So I was super excited when I found out what it was. It's new, but open box. Like everything was there. I think even like a lot of the packs of cards were still sealed. All right, next up is going to be something I listed yesterday. I don't know anything about this. It's sold within a day or less than a day. Jellycat Diner FAO Schwartz. There's like a little hot dog pin and then there's like a sticker set. I just put them together. Ended up selling for $25. So yeah, this was just like sitting around and all the random stuff I've been listing. So yeah, to sell something within a day is pretty good in my opinion. I don't know if I underpriced it. I saw other people had this stuff around like $20 to $30, $40. But yeah, that's pretty good for something that was just sitting there and like stickers and a pin. So yeah, I'm not sure like what kind of collectible world that's in. I know people collect like pins, enamel pins and stuff like that. So yeah, I have no idea. Do you know anything about this Jellycat Diner? Yeah, I don't know.
I just know FAO Schwartz is that toy store that every kid wished they could go to.
Oh. Oh, gotcha. FAO Schwartz Home Alone 2? Okay, gotcha. That's probably why. All right, next up is going to be Gigantomole HeroClix Colossal Figure. Here he is in the baggie just to make sure he doesn't get some like dust and stuff on him. This is his base, which shows his little dial. And this is the card with him. We got 2 of these at the auction we went to. I bought a couple random auction lots of HeroClix stuff. It went for pretty cheap. This particular figure sold for $15. I remember this guy because they would have like colossal packs. And then you can kind of like, these booster packs for HeroClix are randomized, right? But like when you pick up like a colossal pack and you can feel that this one's heavier than the other ones, you can be like, oh, that's Giganto. So it kind of had a weird situation where there would also be in the smaller booster packs if some of the super rares or chases, like the higher rarity figures would be in the pack and they would be like a thicker figure. You can kind of tell, but then sometimes the company would throw in like a common that was also a thicker figure, or sometimes like some of the super rares would be really small and light, so you'd be trying to look for the booster packs that were light. It was a whole ordeal. Usually it was still random, like, but like this was like one of the ones that was obvious. If you picked up the pack, you're kind of like, oh, it's not random. I'm by Giganto. I forgot how much the Colossal pack sold for. I want to say like 20 to 30, at least back in 2011 to 2013. I don't remember. Like, I know it's always changed, and there's different like sizes of the Colossal figures and stuff in booster packs. Like, they do different stuff all the time. All right, next up is, oh, I forgot to grab that item. That's stinks. It was like a candle. I'll have to figure out what to do with that. Probably have to either go today and grab it to make sure we don't get it like a defect. I'm sad. Darn. All right. It was a really cool candle, so I wanted to talk about it too. It was a, we got this like a long time ago. It has like a nativity like scene on it. It's really decorative, really nice, an actual candle someone can light up. It had like the candlestick it was on. We ended up selling it for $12.99. Had it for a long time, so I was kind of like surprised it took forever to sell. I feel like I took good pictures for like a listing from 4 years ago. All right, next up is going to be lots of more train stuff. Really has been like, really doing really well for us. These are Atlas twin, like electrical radio switches. I don't know anything about them. I just had a bunch of these and all like the train stuff and that I got from like auctions a long time ago. I put untested for these. There's 11 of them. Here's like one with the box. I think these just probably like mechanically make sure like certain tracks go on or off for lights and stuff like that. So like these all look like in pretty good condition. So they sold for $13.49. So like, it's just a lot of the train stuff that was taking up space behind me in my listing room for years. Now most of it's shipped and gone. So like I should have done it sooner, I guess. All right, next up is going to be something really cool. This is a Games Workshop retailer poster. This is North and South America. This is number 259. I can't unfold it, but it actually just shows a bunch of different shops that existed at the time. And it would say like if you can paint there, if they had stuff you can buy, different like categories. Really cool poster. It like folds out or goes out and then it folds back in. This sold for $22.50. We got like a handful of these. I think this is our last one, honestly, that we had listed and sold. All right, I don't have any more. All right, next up is going to be some World War II books. I think Soldiers in Normandy from the American perspective, and then Armor, like basically armored tanks and vehicles. These two books sold to a repeat buyer for $18, which is pretty good. I still have to dive into like the rest of the military books I had, because there was like a year or two ago where I got too many, a lot. It was good, but I got bored of listing them for like a month or two, so I put like 10% of whatever was left just like in the storage unit on the bottom. So I have to kind of like dig them out and relist them, because we've been selling them a lot, almost like every few days or almost daily sometimes. All right, next up is going to be another locomotive little truck train right here, train engine. It's 8,500. This one's pretty good, like quality. I think so. Right here. Yeah, this one's a pretty solid one. Like I said, all the train stuff, this is all like good stuff and that I got from auctions. This sold for $37.49, so that's really good. It looks like it's in good condition. Someone's going to appreciate this and use this in their little like train station village, their whole setup, probably in their basement or something like that. There's cool like setups we've seen when we've gone to estate sales, like whole on train villages and stuff. Next up is going to be something really cool. This is a lot of 49 Star Realms trading card game, the like board game card game sleeves. These are the branded sleeves. This is like, I don't know if it's a full set for the game. I think the full set's like 100 or 120 cards. It's honestly a really cool 2-player game. You could probably get like 8 to 10, maybe more hours into it if you're like super obsessed about it. I've played it a bunch. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to take a guess off the top of my head. The game probably goes for $8 to $25, probably like on eBay or something like that. Really good game. These are going to be the branded sleeves. I always look for branded sleeves when I'm picking up stuff like this, because people do like using these, and usually they're less produced, because it's not going to be like a blue for Ultra Pro where they make like a bunch, right? It's going to be like they'll make a certain amount and they probably won't remake them. And then people will be using them on their game. And if any of the sleeves get like torn on the sides or stuff, they're going to want to have a backup to replace them. I got $7.65 for those, which is pretty good for just like some sleeves. It's not even enough to like finish the whole game, but it's still pretty cool. All right, next up is going to be Animorphs right here. The Alternamorphs number 2. I don't remember these like silver books right here, but this one's pretty cool. It has like the owl on the front. This ended up selling for $14.99. I think we got these when we got all the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I think a couple of Animorphs were randomly in there. All right, moving along, we have right here, this is a gift collection Avon. It's in the box here, but it's like a blue angel type of like figurine ornament. It's an ornament. This sold for $10.50. All right, and then the last thing for the day is Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the Director's Edition. I've only watched like one Star Trek thing. I think like one of the newer movies, probably like 2015 or 16 or whenever that like first modern one came out. I do know people like Star Trek a lot, so we do have a couple of these. We'll get DVDs cheap once in a while. This sold for $8.99, which is not too bad because I usually get like a bunch of DVDs for like $15-20. Just get like a whole box of them. All right, that's everything. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at the shop down below.